from slave patrols, they don't know about that either. And they're not any more informed about the ongoing crimes, like the pillage of African resources today, the economic neocolonialism that keeps entire regions of the world impoverished, the exploitation of labor in the global south. These aren't relics of history. That's the present day reality of what your people are doing. But the story that that white people are told does not include those realities, or else it packages those realities deceitfully and dishonestly. They package them dishonestly and deceitfully in the past, just like they do now. The irony is that when they're confronted with the truth, many of these people will react defensively. You know, I didn't do that. That was in the past. Why should I feel guilty? But this reaction in and of itself reveals how little they're really understanding. It's not about guilt. It's about responsibility. You know, if a person inherits a stolen house, they may not have stolen it themselves, but they still live in it. And if they refuse to acknowledge where that house came from or how it came into their possession, if they insist that that house is rightfully theirs because the crime happened a long time ago, well, then they're complicit because the theft is ongoing. The crime never really stopped. So when people don't know their history, they cannot recognize when history is repeating itself and when history is actually just a continuum into the present. This is why so-called white people in America can watch their government arm and support genocide in Gaza, bomb Syria, Iraq, Yemen, and so on, and actually believe when they say it's for the purpose of security. They don't see the colonial mindset at work. That's why they can see corporations, for example, Western corporations, strip mine Africa for resources and not connect that to the centuries of plunder that came before. This is why they can hear about mass incarceration, about police brutality and systemic racism in the United States, and not understand that these are not new problems. These are just new forms of an old system. These are new manifestations of the same system. And this is why they don't resist, why they don't challenge the structures that continue to exploit and continue to oppress, because they don't even recognize those systems as continuations of the age-old exploitation and oppression. The truth is, white people have been colonized too, not physically, not economically, but psychologically. They've been conditioned to believe in a history that never happened, a history where they were always the heroes, a history where they were never the villains, and where their victims were villains. And as long as they live inside that fiction, well, they'll continue to perpetuate the same crimes of their past, even without realizing it.
Shahid Bolson is wrong. So let me explain to you why he's wrong. The reason he's wrong, check 1, 2. Yeah, so just want to make sure this mic is good. He's wrong. And so the reason he's wrong is this. His thesis is that the white people in these different groups somehow have been tricked by their own people, and they don't understand that there's there's what happened historically, and then there's the cover-up, right? The propaganda, whatever, right? Freedom, democracy, pioneers, whatever, right? And that they're not taught their history, right? That white people don't know their own history. He's wrong. He's either wrong or he's a fool. The people you're dealing with, here's the kicker. These people that you're dealing with know exactly what they're doing. They know their history, and still, that's why they're Satan. Because they know their history, but they will still teach, while knowing the correct history, they will still teach the propaganda. See, that's where he's wrong. So either he's wrong or he's a liar, right? Or something. I don't know what to say about him, right? Like, how could you seem pretty intelligent but then get something that wrong? And that's what I'm saying about white people as well. And Neely Fuller said it best. He said the white man know everything. You see? But he goes by a rule, I'm white and I say so. or I kill you. Right? That's generally how he works. The white man know everything. Nearly Fuller was saying that. He said he know about aliens, he know about all kinds of shit. And he knows the true history. They know, even the dumbest white person knows the true history. They know where the police came from. The police came from slave patrols. They know, what happened with colonization. They know why Israel, they know why they support Israel. It's not because they don't understand colonization. It's because they understand that they do. They support racism and colonization. It's not because they don't understand the history of it. That's his thesis. His thesis is, well, white people don't understand the history, the current white people, the past couple of generations or whatever, right? Don't understand the history prior to the ending of Jim Crow or whatever. That's ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous. What Nearly Fuller said was 100% correct. They absolutely understand everything on both sides of the issue. They just spread the lies and propaganda because they feel like they can and they want to. And they go back to the rule, I'm white and I say so. Right? And they just want to see if you gonna go for it. They don't give a fuck what you think. So his thesis about white people not understanding their own history is total garbage. He should be ashamed of himself for saying that. These people know exactly what they're doing and they have to be held accountable. Right? It's bullshit to say that they don't know their history, so that's why they act the way that they do in Gaza or in Africa or in America or whatever, because they've been miseducated by their own propaganda. That's bullshit. They push propaganda in racist propaganda and white supremacist racist bullshit, and they know exactly what the truth is. They know it's opposite of what they're saying. They don't give a fuck. That's Satan. That's the devil. A total hypocrite. A total liar. That's why the Bible says what it says. Shahid Bolson is a fucking... He's discredited for saying that. What does John say? Ye are of your father the devil, Satan. The lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and he abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speak of lies. He speak of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Right? Let's read it in context. Ye do the deeds of your father. See, the white man and the right, they do the deeds of their father. Right? What does it say? Ye do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one Father, even God. And Jesus said unto them, if God were your Father, ye would love me. For I proceed forth and come from God, the Ancient of Days. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do ye not understand my speech? Even because ye cannot hear my word? Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speak lies. He speak of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And because I tell you the truth, you believe me not. Which of you convinceth me of sin? And if I say the truth, why do you not believe me? He that is of God, hear God's word. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of God. You see? So Shahid Bolson is talking foolishness. Maybe he never read John 18. This is about them. of the reason why white people, they know the truth and then they lie anyway. They know their own history and then they lie and be a hypocrite anyway. So what Shahid Bolson is saying is total garbage. Either he's a liar or he's a dumbass, fake, intellectual internet person. There's a lot of those out here, right? They're not credible people. They just come out and say shit and try to sound intelligent, but it's not well thought out. Thank God for Dr. Nephillim, may he rest in peace, because if it was not for him, I might have fed into what this guy was saying. But because I listened to Dr. Nephillim and I read the Bible and I realized that it was talking about them, I realized that these people was born of wicked fornication. You see? And that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is not their father. Is not their progenitor. Is not their God. Ye of your father the devil. Satan is their father. They are hybrids. Their progenitor is hybrid Nephilim. Ye are of your father the devil, the Anakim, the Nephilim, right? So everything out of your mouth is hypocrisy and lies. Your ancestors fornicated with devils, with Satans, with wicked Nephilim, right? Wicked Neanderthals. So when it comes to your history, you're not going to tell the truth, even if you know the truth. That's what it says in John 8, right? Because you have the lust of your father, Satan, who was a murderer from the beginning, who abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in them. So how the fuck are they going to tell you the historical truth when they don't have a spirit to tell the truth? You see? When they speak of a lie, they speak of their own. For they are a lie and the father of lies. They begat lies and their fathers begat lies. And so they're not going to tell you any historical truth, even though they know the truth. Okay? And so you have to understand that, right? You have to, that's why I say I don't debate people. I don't debate my inferiors. I won't debate Satan, who I know is going to lie to me. Why would I sit up and debate a satanic devil like a Benjamin Netanyahu or anybody, a Donald Trump or anybody, right? This a hybrid spawn of the Nephilim. Why would I sit up and debate them when I know that they come from a lineage of wickedness and evil and liars, right? Who have put tens or hundreds of millions of people to death and stolen and robbed, right? And pillaged. And then you want to debate them about morality and and doing the right thing and historical. You want historical facts. They don't give a fuck. The white man told you, it was the white man, Richard Spencer, the white nationalist. He said it. He said, we don't give a fuck about truth. We give a fuck about domination. We don't give a fuck what the truth is. Negro, fill in the blank, Arab, Mexican. Now you see all these immigrants crying about racism. Fuck you, don't cry now. They violated my rights. The fuck out of here, right? I don't want to hear it. Welcome to the fucking freak show. You see? So Shahid Bolson is a weirdo. I don't know what he's talking about. That's all I got.